me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. In other words, hold my hand. In
In
other
other
words,
words,
baby, kiss me.
all right.
Let me stay forevermore. You are how I want to work together.
Okay, we're back. And good evening, folks, and welcome back to the page. It's Chris Kerwin here with Astronomy by the Bay and my two buddies here, my two cronies in the background. Of course, tonight there's a moon contest, so we wanted to start it out in a nice way. So, welcome everybody, and good evening, and everyone, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Can you guys hear me? Okay?
Yes.
Okay, just heard a click on my phone here. Okay.
I'm so snap my fingers. That's all.
can't blame you. Anyway, I'll be your host for this evening, and I'd like to welcome back, of course, Paul and Mike. Paul's from the Moon Shadow Observatory in Hampton, and Mike from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. And we have a number of things here to offer you this evening. We'll be going to begin with a little bit of a discussion on what's been happening in space over the last week, and then Mike will probably be carried away with a discussion on meteor showers, what they are and how the best way is to enjoy them. Also, we'll be presenting the photo entries on the recent Shoot the Moon contest, and we'll be making the draws for some nice prizes here tonight. Also, Paul's going to give us an offering on a reading of on our night sky from one of his favorite books, and he'll also be presenting our usual Rosanna's Fun Fact segment. And then we'll present some of the photo submissions we got this week. Some of them really nice Comet NEOWISE, and we'll probably talk a little bit about NEOWISE and how to find it using Stellarium again, because I'm getting a whole lot of questions on that, and I know there's a lot of people out there that would like to find out about it. So sit back, folks, and enjoy. And remember, this is a live broadcast, so let us know in the comments section if you have any questions. So I guess we can get started with a little discussion about what's new in space this week. And let me grab my other notes.
So what's new in space this week, Chris?
Hey, there's page one done. Thanks, guys. Always appreciate the support. Okay, I'm going to share my screen first of all, I guess, and I'm going to try to share this one. And let me get over to my notes. And here we go. Yeah, make sure everybody can see that, I guess. Well, let's go back, see if I can open it this way instead. Open with photos. I'll drag it over this way. Hang on. Oh, it always does this. There we go. There, everybody see that?
Yes.
Set to go. Okay. Well, news this week, of course, SpaceX delays the launch of Starlink, black sky satellites again due to rocket checks. SpaceX postponed the latest launch of a new Starlink satellite fleet again Saturday, citing the need for more checks of the mission's Falcon 9 rocket. The California-based rocket builder planned to launch 57 Starlink satellites and 2 Black Sky Global Earth orbiting satellites from Florida at 10:54 a.m. Eastern Time as part of a rideshare mission. But just over an hour before liftoff, SpaceX announced via Twitter that it was standing down. A new launch date and time still needs to be confirmed with Eastern Range, the entity that oversees all launches along the East Coast. So I'll keep you posted, of course, when that launch information is confirmed, and I'll be posting information from the Heavens Above website as soon as it becomes available, because I know everybody likes the Starlinks. So let's go on from that one, and let's try to go to this one next, I guess, maybe. Bear with me. There, look at that.
Hey.
NASA's Jupiter orbiting Juno probe has captured gorgeous imagery of a storm that recently cropped up on the giant planet and was spotted by an amateur astronomer. Juno snapped a series of photos of the feature dubbed Clyde's spot, named after its discoverer, Clyde Foster of South Africa, on the morning of June the 2nd, 2020. At the time, the probe was flying between 45,000 to 95,000 kilometers above Jupiter's cloud tops. Okay, picture that now. You're 100,000 kilometers above the cloud tops, and it still looks that big, right? At latitudes ranging from 48 degrees south to 67 degrees south, NASA officials said. Clyde's spot swirls not too far from Jupiter's huge Great Red Spot, but unlike that famous ladder storm, which has been raging for centuries, Clyde's spot popped up not long ago, and that's this one right here in the center. You can see that okay. The new storm was spotted on May the 31st by amateur astronomer Clyde Foster, hence the name. The timing worked out well for Juno, which was scheduled to make its 27th close flyby of Jupiter just a few days later. Juno loops around Jupiter on a highly elliptical orbit. Of course, it can't stay in very close very long because of the extreme radiation, and it gathers most of its science data during close passes that occur every 53.5 Earth days. The June flyby also happened to take Juno relatively close to Clyde's spot, close enough to image it with its onboard JunoCam instrument. The $1.1 billion Juno mission launched in August 2011 and arrived at Jupiter on July 4, 2016. The probe's observations are helping scientists better understand the gas giant's composition, structure, formation, and evolution, mission team members have said. Juno will continue studying Jupiter through at least July 2021, providing the probe remains very healthy. And of course, the big news is this guy. Let's bring him up here. Let's try this one up first. This is kind of cool because I just got this one off the BBC today. Now there's a picture. Right over top of Stonehenge.
Oh, look at that.
There's the $1 million shot. There also,
Yeah.
I saw one with somebody had taken a photo of one of our pyramid of Giza as well. A bright comet is now entering the evening sky, and you can see it without a telescope. Comet F3 NEOWISE, the Near-Earth Object Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, that's where the NEOWISE part comes from, has been a fantastic comet in the early pre-dawn sky, but will be well placed below the Big Dipper to see and photograph over the next couple of weeks and hopefully into August. And I'll try to do another one here. This is someone else that captured a nice shot of it. The comet was discovered on March 27, 2020 by the NEOWISE Space Telescope as it looks for near-Earth objects that could potentially impact our planet. Measuring a little more than half the height of Mount Everest, this object falls into the category of a once-in-a-decade comet. Every astronomer, both amateur and professional, observe 5 to 10 comets with telescopes. In most cases, they show a green nucleus from the sublimation of frozen chemicals such as ammonia and others. The extremely faint tail is seen when photographed, but all comets are different in composition and appearance, and NEOWISE does not appear green. The last bright comet that was visible to the naked eye for the whole world to see was Comet Hale-Bopp in 1997. And like NEOWISE, it too had a blue ion tail and a gas tail and fan-shaped dust tail created when comets round the sun, as this one did on July 3rd at a close distance of 43 million kilometers. NEOWISE will be closest to Earth on its way out of the solar system on July 22nd. And I'd like to bring up this one if I could. And that's going to be its position. NEOWISE will be closest to Earth on its way out of the solar system on July 22nd at a safe distance of 103 million kilometers. It will be starting to fade with a shortening tail as it retreats from the sun's heat and back into the icy depths of space. Comet NEOWISE originates from the Oort cloud, where long-period comets reside, and it will return close to 6,800 years from now. Halley's Comet is a short-period comet originating from the Kuiper Belt. Along with this chart of the comet's path, many smartphone astronomy apps will also guide you to our celestial visitor. Enjoy the spectacular comet every chance you can, as you know, you never know when the next bright one will come to visit. And don't we have the fog?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So there's this position anyway over the next month into almost into August. So here's where we'll see it. So here's the Big Dipper, and this is our evening sky, of course. So here's from July 13th, which is just tomorrow night. We should start to see it appearing in our evening sky, right around 10:30-ish, around that time. Of course, it's going to be, you're going to have to wait until darkness to get a real good look at it, but Now, it's already dimmed over the last few days. It went from a 1.3 magnitude up to a 2.6, so it's about 2.5 times dimmer than it was just a few days ago. So it's probably heading in the wrong direction for us, but at least it'll be high in the sky, so you should be able to pick it out easily through a telescope or even with binoculars. So over the next month. So let's hope. And that's what's up in space this month.
Huh.
So let's go back out of here. And let's stop my sharing. Hey, I'm back. Perfect.
You're back.
All right. How's the questions going and comments going? Pretty good?
No questions yet.
Good, great.
Just some. Robert mentioned that it's clear in Penfield.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
Thanks, Robert.
Yeah.
Yeah, much appreciated.
Yeah, I'm looking at my window at a brisk southwest wind right at the moment. The trees are moving pretty good. So, I mean, they're poplar trees, so they move pretty easy anyway. But it is calling for clearing skies in the morning locally.
I'm going to ask Robert to text me at 4:30 and let me know if it's clear.
4:30 might be a little bit late.
That might be a little late, yeah. I'm thinking more
Everybody
like
who's out
3:30.
there getting it is, like at 3:30 or even 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
When it's still dark, because they're right around 3:30, 3:45, it's starting to lighten anyway.
I'm heading to work at 5 and it's still dark.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're going to have to wait until we see what the clouds are like, I guess. But, I mean, what I usually do is I get up and I look at that NB, New Brunswick NBcams.ca. And it's sites all over the province that have cameras on highways everywhere. And when I'm looking towards, if I want to see if it's going to be foggy tonight, I'll look towards Gramanan. If I see it's rolling in Gramanan and that area, I know we're going to get hit here. So if it's clear in the morning in Gramanan, then I know it might be clear here. So I'm going to give it a try over at St. Rest Beach in the morning if it does clear. I'll have to call into work a little bit late.
I guess I get to pull another all-nighter and stay up.
There you go. Yeah, that's what we do, Mike. That's what we do. Oh, look at Maggie on there. Loving the sun and heat in Oak Bay Campground. Okay, who's going to ban Maggie from the live feed? Can somebody do that?
Yeah. What are you doing talking to us? Get out there and it's because it's still late. It's still light out. So.
Still light out, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe Mike, do you want to start with your section first before we do the moon contest, or how do you?
Yeah,
want to run
well, it
this?
doesn't matter. I'm going to wing it anyway. So
Okay, let's go.
it may end up long, it may end up short. I have no idea.
Okay, take your time.
I will.
Folks will just have to wait a little longer for the moon contest. No problem.
Let's see if I can share a screen here. Oops. The screen, share. Go back to these.
Nice
One
Milky
more
Way.
thing I want to bring up. Where to go? There.
Love that Milky Way shot, Mike.
There.
Oh, yeah.
That's only one corner of it.
Man, that's fantastic.
So what I wanted to talk about was meteor showers. It kind of goes hand in hand with what's going on right now because we have a comet coming through our system, and basically meteor showers are when the Earth travels through tails of comets. So heavy displays of meteors that occur every year. So they're perennial, or they come around every year. They're caused by small fragments of comet debris entering the Earth's atmosphere at extremely high speeds. You got to remember, the Earth is orbiting the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. So if a piece of dust was sitting still out there, it would be hitting it at 67,000 miles an hour. But the comet dust is out there moving as well. So you just compound how fast this dust is coming into our atmosphere. It's screaming. So it's 67,000 plus miles an hour coming into our atmosphere. So when they say it's high speed, they're definitely correct. And then in the Earth's orbit, what happens is this debris cloud, or what you see as dust coming off the comets, the Earth will come around and intersect at some point with that dust, and that's when it comes through the atmosphere, and we get what's called a meteor shower. Now, meteor showers come from the same general point in the sky. The radiant from the shower comes from what we call the area in the sky where the constellations are. So if it's emanating from the Perseids constellation, then it's called the Perseid shower. Lenoid shower comes from Leo, and the Gemini or Ganymede shower comes from Gemini. So it's just the direction that the meteors look like they're coming from the sky. So if you go to actually view or watch for a meteor shower, you might want to put your back to the constellation because they're coming from there and going out and across the sky from there. Specific meteor showers, there are some that are, when I started looking around and trying to figure out how many meteor showers are there, right? We only see a small list half the time, but I came across 40 different meteor showers a year. Now, some of them are very small. You only get maybe 1 to 2 meteors an hour. Others are, the big ones, or the what we call the prominent ones, like Oronids and the Lenoids. Those ones there, we get up to 200 an hour, right? If you're in dark skies. But again, you have to be in dark skies to really see this stuff. We get down to the beach and people see us sitting there with the telescopes and they go, "You here for the meteor shower?" Well, I wouldn't be bringing a telescope to watch a meteor shower anyway, but I go, "No, is there a meteor shower?" They said, "Oh yeah, it was on the radio or it was on the news." Well, at usually slow periods of news and stuff like that, the radios do hype up the meteor showers, and they're only talking about the peak night, when the meteor shower might have started a week ago and it's going to end a week from that night. That is supposedly the peak night, and people come down expecting to see 200 an hour at the beach in the city. And we hate to disappoint them and say you might see 5 or 6 bright ones, right? Or 2 bright ones an hour. The whole goal is to get out to those dark skies. A Trudy's would be perfect because that's what a spot that is to watch these things. Like I said, because the Earth does the same orbit every year, those same comet tails from all these different comets are still floating in the same spot, and we just come around and float through the dust every time. So that's how we end up hitting these exact times for these meteor showers. But these dust tails as well could be thousands and thousands and thousands of kilometers wide. So as the Earth is going through them, that's why the meteor shower is not that particular night. It could start early and finish later. Or you might be going through the trail of 2 different comets at the same time. You might be in the middle of, say, the Halley's comet tail, which is the Oronids meteor shower.
Yep.
And then you might be in the beginning of the next comet tail, right? And not at the peak. So you'd be the peak of one and the beginning of another coming from a different part of the sky. So, I thought, how do you get 40 of them in a year? But that's how they overlap each other. But a lot of them are very, very light. And then you got the prominent ones that give you the big shows, supposedly. Now, I just wanted to show here, if you look at this on the screen, you see in my screen?
Yep.
Okay. You see this blue circle, that's the Earth's orbit around the sun. And you see where a comet comes in from the distance. And the closer it comes to the sun, the more it starts to melt or vaporize. And that's where the dust clouds come from. And you can see it weeping off to the side. There could be particles in there, too, of rocks and stuff. And they're not very reflective. And that's why you don't see those particles of rock or particles of heavy dust, because they just don't reflect the sunlight. But when we go through them, the Earth's orbit, they come into our atmosphere. That's where we get the stuff that lights up the sky at night really, really bright, as it turns into a plasma ball and vaporizes in our atmosphere. Here's another quick slide on what causes the meteor shower. You can see the Earth's orbit around the sun, and a comet has come in and left its path around in its orbit. So here's the Earth coming in, and it can hit the path coming in, and it can hit the path going out. So there's 2 different meteor showers right there from a single comet tail. If you set up a camera and look at the night sky, this one here is radiating from the Gemini. So that's the how do you pronounce it? Geminids. I don't know how long the exposure was, but I'll zoom in a little bit. You get a good look at it.
Nice.
That is a good meteor shower, and it looks like it's in relatively dark sky. There's a little bit of sky glow around the edges, but that he's got that aimed perfectly as far as trying to catch the center of it and everything moving away from it. And there's a lot of meteors in there. Here's another one. This is the Lyrid meteor shower. So it's emanating from Lyra. And you can see, look at the colors, the blues, the greens, the reds.
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Like, and they're real. Like, they're almost like miniature bowlies. You know, they when they vaporize, depending on what the dust is made of, it's going to give you different colors. Like different logs in a fireplace will give you different colors. But again, I want to stress to people, if you're going to go out to watch a meteor shower, you want to find dark sky. You don't want to do it in the city. You want to get yourself a nice, comfortable lawn chair that lays back. Get your thermos of coffee and whatever other treat you may choose for yourself. You make, some of them cause you to see more in the meteor shower than you should. Get yourself a nice blanket, a pair of binoculars, and a radio to listen to some tunes and go out in a dark place and just lay back and look up. That's where you're going to get them. And, keep a little counter going. How many you see? Some people carry a golf clicker or a baseball clicker, and they go one click, 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 and keep a score of how many they saw going across the sky. But that's how you're going to observe a meteor shower. You're not just going to show up at St. Trust Beach and sit there in the back of your truck and expect to see 200 an hour. It's not going to happen. It would be nice if it did, but it's not going to happen. Anyway, I just wanted to mention that because, like I said, we got a comet coming through right now, and everybody's oohing and on about it. I haven't because I haven't seen it yet. We've had nothing but fog, and I've been up every morning to look, and I've had no luck. I'm glad Trudy got a nice picture of it, and David McKesha here got a shot of it. But it's the tail of these comets that the Earth goes through that causes these meteor showers. Now, I wanted to show one more thing before I close out here. Let me just pop this down and see if I can pop this up. Which one is it? This one. Drag it over here and go large. Everybody has a smartphone nowadays, so I thought, something. I found, to me, which is considered one of the better apps for getting meteor showers, finding out what they are, where they're coming from, what time of year, and all that. And it's called the Meteor Shower Calendar on Google Play. It's for Android. I don't know if they make the same one for iPhone or not. You'd have to look it up. But Meteor Shower Calendar. And I'll just quickly put up a little video here to show you. What it does is it gives you the full list of, go back. Full list of meteor showers starting from December, January, right on through the whole year, every month. And you can see, they go anywhere from a start date in December the 10th to a peak of June 1st, and then an end of September 10th. So here's a meteor shower that's, 9 months long, right? Wow. But you see it's only a 1-star. You probably don't see very much of that one. You might see 1 an hour or 3 in 2 hours or something, right? But that's just, part of the list. Then it goes in and tells you the moon phase, because you don't want to be out on a moonlit night trying to catch a meteor shower. You want to be on when there's a new moon or something like that, or the moon sets early, or the moon rises very late. And that's, keep your dark skies and you'll see the meteor shower. It allows you to do a search for the web on different meteor showers for the month, the time, whatever it is you're looking for. You can actually search it and it'll go through and do a Wikipedia thing for you. What's the next one? Again, the moon phase. There's a button here in the center. You can download another app called Sky Eye, and what it does is it'll connect to this app, and you can point your phone at the sky and it'll point to where the meteor shower is going to emanate from. The other information that comes with it is the weather. Oops, that's the download the web. The weather. It's got a weather button that tells you what the weather's like that night. If it's good to go out and look to watch a meteor shower, or don't even bother. It basically tells you to don't waste your time. So I thought that was pretty cool to go through this app, and it lists 40 different meteor showers in this app, all of them that I could find on Wikipedia. Every one of them is listed in here. It puts 5 stars for the good ones, 1 star for the bad ones. It tells you the start, peak, and finish of each one. You can sort it for just the peaks if you want. And it's quite a well manipulatable piece of software. And, I like it. That's the one that's been on my phone for a long time now. And if I decide I'm going to go out and watch a meteor shower, that's what I'm going to go to first and look it up. So I just thought I'd toss that out there and say, if you got a smartphone, get that app because it's really, really cool. And it gives you a lot of information in a small package. So
on that app, Mike, does it look for your location? So it just gives you the ones that are visible to you?
yeah, what it does is, of course, it does the location off your phone when you allow it to, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll say when you're loading it up, can I use your location?
Okay.
And of course, I say, yeah, go ahead. I don't care if you know where I'm at. And then from there, that's how it tells you the weather too for your area, right? Because it knows your location and it goes off and it picks up the weather like most of these other apps. Just a quickie, when I was looking at that first one that lasts almost a year long, what it tells you is the beginning date is December the 10th. Then the approximate peak date is June. The ending date is September the 10th. The hourly zenith rate is about 4 meteors an hour. The approximate magnitude of the meteors that you're going to see is a 3. And then the average velocity of them is about 30 kilometers a second. And that just tells you, some quick information about the, that and the moon phase. And then, of course, the weather. If you were going to look at that one tonight, it says St. John, fog, humidity 100%, stay home. So,
Surprise, surprise.
it's a pretty cool app. I just want to get out there. Like I said, a lot of people, when they hear there's a meteor shower, they think there's going to be this big thing, and they only usually catch it on the news or catch it on the weather station or catch it on the radio. And, it's a little bit of hype put up there, right? Because the news is kind of quiet or something. So they rush down. We see them at the beach all the time, right, Chris? And it's, I'm here for the meteor shower. And it's like, yeah. If you're serious about it, you want to learn about them when they are, get a good app like that or Google it, and then get yourself out into some dark skies with the appropriate get up, like a chair and your coffee and a nice blanket and be prepared to lay there the whole night and look up. Right?
That's not a bad thing sometimes. I wouldn't discourage anybody from going out and looking at the night sky for sure.
Not at all. On a
Even if
beautiful
it's just a
night,
few.
no
Yep.
matter where you are, it's a gorgeous to look at,
Yep.
even if you don't see a meteor.
That's it. I mean, you've got...
Or one of Elon Musk's famous satellites.
There you go. So, yeah, I mean, underneath the night sky, this time of year, especially summertime, I mean, our evenings are cooler. We get some bugs, coming around at particular times of night. But as long as you bring along a few, preparatory things like bug spray, I guess, would be one. A blanket, a comfy chair is really important. Your favorite beverage, hot probably.
Yeah.
Along with that, bring along a star map. You can bring along, you can download star maps from lots of locations. Now, Heavens Above has a nice printable star map there. Rask has a few star maps that are printable, and a red flashlight to keep your dark adaptation. Binoculars pan through the Milky Way while you're sitting there waiting for the meteor shower to start. There's all kinds to see and do at this time of year. This is when we all like to be outside. Dress yourself so that it's about 10 degrees colder than it really is, because you're really not generating much heat. You're sitting in one spot. You're not doing calisthenics or anything. Maybe you are. I don't know. But
who knows?
Most cases you're not. You're just sitting there, so your body temperature tends to drop a bit, and you're not really generating a whole lot of heat. So it's always good to have an extra coat or a sweater or something with you, just to make sure that you're comfortable, because you want to be comfortable. That's the biggest part. And the biggest part about looking through a telescope is being comfortable. The more comfortable you are, the less you'll focus on, how you feel, and more focused on what you're there for in the first place. So, great, thanks, Mike. Great talk. Anybody got any questions? How are we looking for questions, guys? All good?
No, nothing on YouTube.
Okay. Peter does say that meteor shower calendar is available on iOS, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, for additional.
Well, can I give a shout out to Peter? Last week he mentioned too, during the cleaning segment, about the PEC pads.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And they are really good. I do have some of those, and they're actually better than the paper that I showed you. But most people, when they buy the kits, they get the paper. But the PEC pads are really, really, really good. So thanks, Peter.
Thanks. And a shout out to my brother Danny, who
I was
tunes in
going to say, don't
every
forget.
show.
Hey, Dan.
Hey, Dan. He's been tuning in every show since we started this. So thanks for your support, Dan. All right. How about we go to Moon Contest maybe next, I guess, huh?
Sure
So
thing.
I got a few things here to set up first. If you guys want to talk amongst yourselves, as we normally do. Okay, I just got to get my screen shared here.
Well, maybe they can type amongst themselves.
There, that's better. Okay, I think it's this one. And I want to drag over something from here. I think that's the one. No, that's not the one. Where was I? Oh, darn. Oh, bother.
No bother.
Bear with me for a second. Hang on.
Bear it with me.
Desktop. Where I want to be? I want to be on. Where am I? This one. Yeah, there we are. Okay. There's where I want to be. All right, and I want this guy up. And first of all, I want to stop this because I don't think you guys can see that yet. So let me go back to share my screen. Now I'll share my screen. And it should be this one. And that should pop up now, I think. All right.
Yep, you're there.
Let's see if this part works. All right, just wanted to show a few photos that were sent in first of all for the contest. So let's start.
Great job, everybody. Wow.
Yeah,
Sure.
sir. Beautiful shots.
And thanks so much, folks. That was wonderful. Hey, that was a little bit of fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So we're back to contest time. And what I had mentioned on the contest was that just asked everybody to send in the photo. As you saw there are many different types, many taken with many different instruments, and that's all it was for you to get outside, take a look up at the moon, enjoy the view, and yeah, and enter your contest. And I've got everybody in here who shared shared the photo or shared the contest information. So you're all in here in this drum. And we're going to make a draw tonight for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 prizes. Actually, I added an extra book to it. The extra book I added was this one called 50 Things to See with a Telescope. And it is actually signed by the author, John Reed. And this was donated by John. Thanks very much, John, for these. It's been a pleasure to deal with you on these. And lots of other books here as well. 50 Things to See with a Telescope, Activity Workbook. We have 50 Things to See with a Telescope, A Young Stargazer's Guide. And 50 Animals That Have Been to Space. And that one there is also signed by John and Jennifer both. They both wrote that book together, so signed copy. And we have a copy of the Sky and Telescope Deep Sky Wonders book. Fascinating book, has all kinds of information about deep sky objects. It has a lot of star charts in there as well. At the back, there's a whole series of star charts. I don't want to open up the book and ruin too much, but there's all kinds of data in here about deep sky wonders. 100 tours for the backyard telescope. And then, of course, on top of that one is the book Night Watch, which is the book that we all seem to start out with, or we all end up getting anyway down the road. This is the Night Watch book by Terence Dickinson. And it's called The Field Guide to the Universe. Terence has written a number of these now. This is actually the revised 4th edition. And in this book, it has some great all kinds of information about telescopes, first of all, about what to buy and what to look for in the night sky, that kind of thing. But he also has some great star maps in here. And when you use a infrared flashlight on them, they kind of glow in the dark a little bit. So they're nice to find when you're outside. Just lay them flat like this on a nice table, and you can find your way around the sky. So a great little setup with that book. So all prizes, again, have to be picked up in St. John. I can't ship, so you can make arrangements to have them picked up, and we'll go from there. So who's got a drum roll? Who's a drummer? Any drummers here?
Get them big hands going.
There. Anyway, I want to thank everybody so much for entering. First of all, I know that we had some bad weather, including what's going on here tonight. So there weren't as many entries as there were in previous draws. But hold on for a little bit because we may be having another one coming up pretty soon. So just hang on to your photos if you got one, or if you're going to get one for the next contest, no worries, because we'll be having another one coming up. So let's draw first of all maybe for, let's go for the 50 Things to See with a Telescope book, which is again this one by John Reed. And the first winner, don't you like my my mixing bowl? Hey, right, reach way down in the bottom. We pull out a name, one name, and our name is, Maggie Bacchus.
Hey!
Hey! All right, congratulations, Maggie. We'll put that one in here for you. I'll put them right inside so I remember who won what. Or I can always go back and look at the video, I guess. Right, prize number 2. Let's go with the 50 Things to See with a Telescope, a Young Stargazer's Guide. This book is actually excellent. There's all kinds of things that you want to find out in the sky, like the Summer Triangle, the Dumbbell Nebula, Cancer in the Beehive, summer objects, winter objects, all laid out for you in very simple terms. John does a great job on his books. And actually, I think in this book, too, he does lay out the different views. No, anyway, let's move on. People are excited. One more time. Draw out a number for 50 Things to See with a Telescope, a Young Stargazer's Guide. I got one name here. And the winner is Stefan Picard.
All right,
Hey.
Stefan.
Yeah, okay. Congratulations, Stefan. All right, third prize. We'll go with 50 Things to See with a Telescope Activity Workbook. This is John's newest book. And in here, he lays out all kinds of objects that are challenging for you to find. Not challenging really, but a challenge for you to find. So you go outside, you try to see if you have seen the object or not. You try to sketch it if possible. And it gives you an idea of where things are. And once you sketch objects, of course, you get to know a little bit more about their shape. And so it's an excellent book, laid out very well. The summer triangle, summer constellations, everything's laid out there. Very easy to follow. And John's books are always very easy to follow. So he has them broken down into easy, medium, and difficult categories. So great little workbook, something that you can go back and refer to later on. And actually, they're using this book, I believe, for the Explore the Universe course right now that they're offering through RASC. So if you go to RASC YouTube channel, you can see the last two programs that they had up there, and I think they were using this as one of the guides. So great book. So John's book, 50 Things to See with a Telescope Activity Workbook. Let's go for that one. I know it looks like not very many, but they're really tiny names. I was running out of printer ink, so I had to make them small. All right. Heidi McElwain.
All right.
Congratulations, Heidi.
Perfect. Congratulations. All right, the final two books. Oh, sorry, I got one more. I do, yeah. 50 animals that have been to space. I didn't know there were 50 animals that went to space until I started looking at crickets that went to space and oyster toadfish that went to space. Sally, Amy, and Mo, and the Amazing Rescue, and all kinds of really kind of neat information. Tortoises that went to the moon? No, they didn't go to the moon. Tortoises to the moon. Fee, fi, fo, fum, and fooey. Okay. Yeah. All kinds of... The first chimp in orbit. Lots of nice information on that. A real fun book. And that, again, is by Jennifer and John Reed together. So let's put that one up for grabs right now. Our mixing bowl spin again. Here we go. The winner of 50 Animals That Have Been to Space is Barb Mrazek.
Hey.
All right.
Excellent. Congratulations. Two more to go. Let's go with Deep Sky Wonders first of all. And that's, of course, the Sky Telescope book, A Tour of the Universe with Sky Telescope's Sue French. Look at the category, just summer alone. Like, look at the objects that we can pick up. So, Don't drool. Okay.
Not on the book, anyway.
Not in the book anyway, no. Good point, Mike. Okay, Deep Sky Wonders. Here we go. And that book is going to go to Jeremiah Harding.
All right, Jeremiah.
Congratulations, Jeremiah. For that, I got them all nicely tucked in there, so I'll remember who they were. Night Watch, the book.
The book.
The book that we keep going back to referring to. Actually, it's a book that I went back to refer to many, many times when I was just getting started in the hobby. I guess I still do, because it has great star maps like this. When I was talking about star maps earlier, there's a nice star map of the summer sky. Usually set up around 10 p.m. So, okay, Night Watch. Let's go for that one. Final name. Here it comes. And the final name, the final winner of the Night Watch book, Candace Smith.
Hey.
Hey! Great. Awesome. So folks, I know the prizes were the prizes, but again, the objective was to get everybody outside to get a look up at the sky. And I hope you enjoyed the contest. I really enjoy putting it on because it's a lot of fun for me to offer these prizes. And And again, it's the idea of getting you outside to take a look up. So, because we had such a cloudy month this month and weather was so bad, we may be running another one next month. Stay tuned because I may have an announcement along with that one as well. So keep in touch, and we'll pass that back now to who's next. Thanks so much for your entries, and keep looking up. So
yeah, Maggie made a comment too, and she says she sees why the moon is so awesome. Every shot is different, and so well done, everyone. So that's from Maggie, who won the book as well. So that's
what I
great.
like about the contest the most, is that when I get to see other people's perspectives on what they see through their lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what lens you're taking it with. It's when you drop the lens down and take a look up at what you're viewing is what's important. So it's our celestial neighbor. It's there every month. So keep an eye out for it, and keep an eye out for the next contest. There will be another one coming up very soon. Okay, so Paul, I guess we're up for you now.
All right. Well,
you want to go with your reading first, maybe, or?
I think we'll do. Yeah. Okay, we can do that. Yep.
Okay.
I gotta find it now. Yeah.
I gotta get my.
Where's that? Okay.
First of all, anyway.
There. And
how are we doing for time? We're looking at.
Oh, we're good. We're actually shorter what we did last week, so I think we're doing okay.
Oh, just getting started.
Yeah, we're just getting started. We're just getting wound up here.
We're going to show the Comet in the morning, aren't we, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah. Stay tuned for a Facebook Live at 4 a.m., folks.
Oh, where did my info go before I get into this? It's right there. There it is. Got it. Okay, I'm almost ready to share my screen.
Okay. I'm ready for the
Put that up there. I'll put that over here, and I'm going to share my screen. And, error.
Uh-oh. Error.
Okay, I'm going to have to sign out and sign back in.
Oh, no. What are we going to do?
Oh, you guys can talk amongst yourselves. I'll just be a minute.
Talk amongst yourselves.
Right.
Hey, Mike. So are we going out in the morning, Mike?
You know something? I figure if it's foggy again, I'm just going to soak some cattails in gasoline, light them, and throw them across the sky to look like a comet.
I like it. Yeah, we've had some.
Photograph that.
We've had some terrible weather here lately. We're going to our third week now, I think, of this stuff, and it doesn't really look like there's going to be much of a break in sight. We've had a few hours of teasing moments. That's about it. Not enough really to see the comet yet at all. So.
All right.
Gee, you're back already?
I'm back already. Sorry.
We were just
I can go longer if you like.
We're just talking about you.
I hope it was good. All right, I'm going to try and share again, unless you want to finish your conversation.
No, go ahead. If you want to drop off, come back again, that's okay.
All right, I'm going to share this one, and then hopefully I can find that picture again.
Hey. Oh.
There it is. Okay, there we are. So can everybody see the picture where I'm being on the topic of the moon?
We can.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So this week, this doesn't come from a book. This is actually coming from one of the NASA sites, but it's basically it's a site. It's called The Space We Love, and it's basically just inspirational things that people have done or seen or got some ideas from, all based on astronomy. Everything from how they got involved or to people who are involved and what inspires them. So this picture that you're seeing right now was a picture that was done by a gal named, she didn't take the picture, obviously, because somebody's on the moon, take a picture of the Earth, but maybe she did, I don't know.
Maybe she did, you don't know.
Yeah, but anyway, this picture inspired her, and her name is Sophia Sheff, and this was back in May the 3rd of 2019. So this is what she writes. She writes, and this is called A Voyage to the Moon, a poem by Sophia Sheff. She's a grade 5 American School of Bombay. She's a teacher. So once upon a mission in 1969, there was an expedition above the skies. Took a place in space for the moon to face. From the thermosphere to the exosphere, a long way from the ground, a full speed, and then 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off of 6 million pounds. With Saturn V released, Eagle and the Columbia were now detached with ease. Michael Collins controlling the Eagle for a safe landing, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin in charge of Columbia for safe flying. Copy that. 3 days from July 16th, there was this first mission to the moon ever been. Buzz and Neil stepped on the moon while Michael stayed back in retreat. That was real, facing 238,900 miles east, gazing upon the ball of the green and blue. This was true. Looking at the gray, punctured ground, no life, no land, no light or sound. No family, friends, no one around. It's like this darkness sucks you into the inner core. Yet Earth's orbiting satellite is worth to explore. This voyage was never taken before. And that was written by Sophia Sheff. And I thought that was really, it covered a lot of ground of what she looked at, what we all experienced and watched. And that's how it struck her. So that was by Sophia. So thank you, Sophia Sheff.
Yeah, thank you, Sophia. What amazing photo.
Yeah, unbelievable how they shot that. And
I mean, when
just
you look at that shot and you see the dead moon, basically, and the colorful Earth there in the background, right? Okay,
yeah.
So if you were an alien and were flying into Earth, would you land on the brown part or would you land on the blue part?
Yeah. Well, if you got colors rods in your eyes, you're going to go to the Earth, I think.
There you go. Yeah. No.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing there. That's great.
The $1 million view. Yeah.
There we go.
You should pit stop on the brown part.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Don't forget about your poop stop on the way. Yeah. I've yet to try to find another article that's as good as that one. I'm still looking, but I'm going to find one. They're really hard to find, like funny space stories. They're also serious, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I guess you're back up again, Paul.
I am.
For Rosanna.
Pressure's
on.
on.
Do you want to do that? Or do you want to do the photo submissions? Up to you. I can.
You can do the submissions, and I can get ready for the
Sure.
other.
Okay. So let's do that. So I'm going to share my screen. So we got a few photo submissions this week. And I think it's going to be the screen again. And I think I've got my folder over here. Oop, hang on. That one. Oh, doing it again. Hurry. Who's this guy? No. Okay. Hang on. I'll go back again. Down here somewhere. There he is. This one. Okay. Yeah, photos. So we had a few photos in here from, let's take a look at Dave McCashin's here first of all. So Dave brought us up, let's try not to do it that way, let's do it this way. Dave McCashin captured the Comet NEOWISE.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Nice.
So I didn't get to read his bottom part there. I don't know if I can see it or not in this drawing or this photo.
I didn't realize it was that bright.
Yeah, Comet C20, July 10th at 04:03 hours from Petersville Hill.
Wow.
Yeah, so he had some notes here for me. So crap, where'd I put them? Yeah. I'm so organized. Here we are. Let me get my notes here. I know he said something about his photos. Here, he said, he sent me an email, said, hi Chris, how are you? Ed and I were able to get out to Petersville Hill a couple of mornings ago and caught the NEOWISE Comet. It's spectacular in binoculars. It's also naked eye. Have you seen it yet? And that's all that we saw from Dave. That's good. Thanks, Dave. Actually, he said, do you know if anyone else around here has seen it yet? If not, I highly recommend getting out to see it. And that's exactly what we'd like to do. If not, if you have the opportunity, check out my blog for images and reports. So I should try to put Dave's blog link up too, because he does some awesome blogs on astronomy. Like when he goes out for an evening to do an observing session, and we could talk about that some week too. Maybe we'll have Dave on sometime if he wants to come on.
We should, because that's incredible what he does.
Yeah, he'll talk about like what the humidity was and the winds were to the southwest. I was wearing a green shirt.
Yeah.
I cut my nails that day. Like he's very very detailed on what he's doing. Like so you can go right back and you can picture yourself being right there with it.
Yeah.
He said it was foggy all the way to Petersville Hill and then all the way back to St. John. LOL. Yeah, I know. So that's these are a few of Dave's pictures. There's another one he's taken. Really nice shot. So yeah, look at the nice tail on that thing. It's already again now it's going from 1.3 magnitude up to 2.6. I saw today on Heavens Above. So how close that is to that, I'm not quite sure. But there's this wide field shot. So folks, it is the best comet since 1997. So if you get an opportunity, you can see how daylight is down there though too, right? So you're hitting it very close to daylight, but it's starting to swing over into our evening sky starting tomorrow night. So it's a little bit later in the evening to start with, but then it's going to be circumpolar, which means it's going to be up all night, up around by the Big Dipper. So we all know where that is. So we'll be able to find it, and I will put that that map that Maggie asked me for up on my Facebook page later on, so you can go back and take a look at it. All right, what else we got here? A second. One from Cheryl. Is she in here? No, she's not. Well, I guess I put her picture. I guess I put her picture up on the page. Yeah, I did. It's just Cheryl had a picture on the moon shots there, so it said she just took this just a bit ago and setting it up now because she was off to PEI tomorrow and won't be able to do this there. You, Mike, and Paul are doing a wonderful job of keeping us looking up, gathering in people from faraway places. Congratulations. So very nice. Thank you, Cheryl.
Yeah.
And let's take a look at Andrew's photos here. So Andrew Wilson. We brought up this one from Jupiter and its moons.
Yes, sir.
Andrew said, when camping this weekend in Sussex with a Celestron Astromaster 130 telescope and a cell phone adapter, took this picture just before 1 a.m. Sorry, this is that's the other one. Here's an eyepiece shot of Jupiter and 4 of its moons from Friday and Saturday night. Friday night, Saturday morning. Celestron Astromaster was used with a cell phone adapter. This is the best I could do for focus. Could not get Saturn to be more than a blob of light. Any suggestions on how to get more detail would be great. I think I was using a 9 or 10 millimeter Celestron eyepiece for Jupiter and a 15 millimeter for the moon. So I think I suggested back to maybe a 2x Barlow and maybe a moon filter because I know the phones are getting so good today that they're capturing so much light, right? And I have that with my scope too, trying to capture Saturn. Mike, remember that at the beach?
Yep.
Just would not come in, just a big blob of bloop, right? And then
We
once
tried
I
everything.
we put an ND filter on it, I think, a neutral density filter,
Yep.
and darkened it down as much as we could, and then it started to pop out. Like it took that much to get it on a cell phone camera. On a regular camera, DSLR probably different, but with the cell phones, they're getting so good with their capture of light now that it's just too much light. So I would suggest probably something to dim it down. Would you agree, Paul? Or
Depending on the cell phone, like my cell phone's got you can go in and adjust the ISO.
Right.
So you can actually you can darken it down a fair bit, and you can also adjust the brightness and stuff on it.
Okay.
So you can get Saturn. It won't look like it does on the magazine or anything, but
Yeah.
You can get at least the formation and the ball in the middle. You may not get Cassini or anything like that, but
Right. Yeah. You can see as long as you can see the separation between the rings and the planet is the big part.
Yeah.
I think you
like what you suggested earlier, getting more magnification. That's the best thing you could do. So Barlow would probably be your best friend for that.
The Barlow's going to dim it down anyway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, okay. What else did I have here? This was Andrew's shot. And Andrew had a shot of the partial eclipse, penumbral eclipse, I guess, which is here. There it is. So he went camping this week in Sussex with this same telescope, and he took this picture just before 1 a.m. during the so-called eclipse. Not sure if anything can be seen. Is anybody seeing that on Facebook? They're not. Hang on a second. I can see that the Facebook screen isn't showing it there. Sorry, folks. Okay, now we're seeing it on both. So yeah, I captured this one of the penumbral lunar eclipse. It does look like there's a bit of shading there, but I'm not sure if it's cloud
Yeah,
or what.
it
Yeah,
was a partial penumbral, right?
right. Yeah, partial penumbral,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
very, very,
That's pretty
very
much what they
slight.
look like. Yeah, that looks good, really.
What I'm seeing on Facebook, Chris, is Paul.
Okay, should be
There-
changing here
okay.
very soon. There it goes. I think yeah, a little bit of a delay there. Okay. If I had anything else there, I had Dave's 4 picture. Oh, and we had this one from Dawn Kiersted, who said she didn't capture a moon photo, but she got a moon rock. So she sent me this one.
I like it. That's one I don't have.
Yeah, that's this one. There you go, Mike. A meteorite all the way through. Look, still had the paint on it. Still had the paint on it. Cool.
That's awesome.
Thanks,
Oh,
Don.
it's fantastic.
Oh, Harold Heikman sent a few pictures in here. He had NEOWISE as well. I want to share those ones. Come on, here we go. There's a nice shot. That's from Saskatoon.
Really?
Nice.
Nice, huh? Look at the clear
No
sky.
fault.
Look, is he looking off? He's looking off to the east there, where all that cloud is. See?
Yeah.
Couple
Is that
thousand
Noctilucent
kilometers away.
cloud?
What's that?
Is that a Noctilucent cloud?
I think it is. It could be, yes. There's
Because they come up either really early in the morning or just after.
I'd say that's probably
Dusk,
Venus up there, right? No,
Yeah,
would Venus be that high? No, because the comet, Venus is supposed to be down pretty well parallel. That must be Venus over here. Oh,
Well, the
maybe
comet's in the
not
northeast. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not from Saskatoon, though. Yeah,
That's Capella up at the top.
Capella
Yeah.
up here, right? So comet, I think Venus is supposed to be over this way.
Yeah, it is.
It
Yeah.
might be there. Anyway,
Nice shot.
Yeah, beautiful. And I think he's got another one here. This one. Yep, another nice shot.
Oh, nice.
That pretty, eh?
Yeah.
Boy, it looks like an awful pretty comet.
I'm jealous because I haven't even seen it.
I know. It's really making me mad seeing all these everywhere you look now on the internet. Just type in Comet NEOWISE and it just floods you with photos like stop.
Yeah. It's like showing you your favorite Big Mac, but you can't take a bite.
Yeah. Yeah, right, Mike?
You wait till the show's over. We'll just do that.
Yeah, Mike gets his Big Mac for being good boy in the show. There's a penumbral eclipse he captured as well, so just a bit haze there, but that's another one he sent in. So anyway, and Trudy's shot. Oh yeah, right. Get that
Yes.
shot here. Trying to make sure I get everybody. There she is.
Oh, nice.
Nice capture. So July the 10th at 4:15. So there's a sky at 4:15. So that's still not too bad, I guess.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of blue in it because it's just starting to get a little light, but
It didn't look like
beautiful.
that.
Yeah, that's a 10
It's
second
beautiful.
shot, ISO 800, 55 millimeter. So
Very
nice
nice.
shot at 5.6. Yeah, great shot. Beauty. So there, it is out there. So people are seeing it.
That's amazing.
Okay, I guess we got the shots going out on both now. I just read a comment there. Can only see Paul on Facebook, but I think it was from earlier. Okay, so all right. I don't think I've missed any other ones. I think I get them all in there. So let's bring up this last one, which is of course how we like to get your photos. So please consider. No, that's not it. Anyway, that's the wrong one. Did I tell you guys that I got called out tonight to work?
You're getting so much better.
You
And I'm
did.
just not
You
doing
did.
very. Yeah, I did. Did I? Okay. Let's try this one. This one.
Same one.
No, same one. Isn't it? Yeah, it is too. Excuse me. Or darn. Here, this one. There it is. That's the one.
There you go.
Hey, that's the one. Okay, so yeah, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show at gmail.com. Send in your photos to that address, and we'd love to put them up if I can get them all in order and not embarrass myself too much. But there we go. Okay, so I'd say we're probably in for that's probably our evening, guys. Would you say? Let's bring our screen
Well,
back
I got
forward.
Rosanna.
Oh, you got
lined up.
Rosanna. That's right. Sorry,
Yeah.
let me stop sharing here.
Yeah, we missed her last week, so we should get her in this.
You bet.
You got your music ready, Chris?
Geez. Oh, come on now. You guys are
It
pressuring
wouldn't
me
be
too much.
Rosanna without it.
I know. You're pressuring me too much. Hang on. Just a sec. I gotta get Paul going on Facebook there. I got him on YouTube. Gotta unlock my phone. someday, someday I'll have this all ready. I think we're ready.
All right. So there's a time.
You guys can hear me, okay?
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Okay. I'm hearing in the background that I'm not always being able to be heard, but anyway, let's try this.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Hey!
All right. Good job, Chris.
Whew. Let me check my volume here, make sure my volume's up.
Oh, my. That's hilarious.
Yeah, I think I am.
All right. Whoops.
This is 100%. Okay.
All right. So this week on Rosanna's Fun Facts, Rosanna writes in. This week is kind of it's a timely little talk. So she says, I sent this to my brothers first. At my mom. Okay, I won't get into that. So with the borders opening in the Atlantic bubble, I'm going to show the picture first. So here's a picture of what's been ailing everybody across the planet for the last few months. So with borders opening in the Atlantic bubble on July the 3rd, there's a joy and trepidation. COVID-19 is a real thing, and sadly, there have been tragedies. Because all the science is not confirmed, there's a lot of back and forth about true numbers. Percentages can be fun to play with, and also depending on how data is interpreted, the numbers can be made to misrepresent an actual situation. So here are a few percentages to compare with 30 years of space flights. So if you were in Iceland right now, you would have only a 0.56% chance of succumbing to the virus. You would have to find a magical way to get there. Though if you went by plane, your infection fatality rate would rise to a minimum of 1.4%. and would skyrocket if you boarded in Texas or Florida. If you were a female astronaut in the space shuttle program, 4 out of 49 perished. You had an 8% chance of not surviving. 3.27% of the male individual flyers did not survive. NASA lists the current statistical fatality rate at 3.2, but they are considering more than just shuttle flights and 4 cosmonauts that perished as well. There were 355 individual flyers, but some astronauts went multiple times, which one might think increased their risk logically, but actually lowered it mathematically overall, but not on an individual basis. Story Musgrave flew on all 5 shuttles and made 6 missions. Jerry Voss flew on 7 missions, and Franklin Chang Diaz also flew on 7 missions. This leads us, or me, anyway, to check out the question, since we still send astronauts to the ISS, can COVID-19 survive in space? The quick answer is no. Equipment is built and created in a sterile and environment as possible, and also goes through sterilization process. Any microbe that escapes will only survive a week in the very best conditions, which space is not. Viruses can only survive longer if they have a host, but what if the host, the astronaut, is in space and doesn't test positive, but is a carrier? Well, stress, both mental and physical, actually accentuate dormant viruses in the human body. So, what is this below? I'm going to show you the second picture. So, is this the coronavirus in space? No. This is an elevation map of the Jezero crater on Mars. Lighter colors is the higher elevation. This is where NASA's Perseverance rover is scheduled to land later this summer. All its parts were sterilized and wiped down before liftoff, and no human is on board. So Mars will remain COVID-free. And that is this week's.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
I was
Thanks
almost ready.
again, Rosanna, for that great bit of information and timely information in comparison. That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great.
Thanks so much, Rosanna. Awesome. Okay. Where are we at now? Okay, so just before we sign off, I'm going to take one more minute to maybe introduce the where the comet is again on Stellarium. Excuse me. I'm going to share my screen.
Well, he's pulling that up, Paul. A little tidbit of information. You mentioned that 2 astronauts had been in their space 7 times or whatever.
Hmm.
And I was reading up on something the other day because I was wondering about John Young. I thought he had done the most flights. He had apparently only done 6, but he was credited for going into orbit 7 times. And I thought, how's that possible? He went to orbit from the moon as well.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
Ah,
Wow.
Pretty cool.
Well, have you been to Florida, Mike?
No, that's on my bucket list.
So right down in and around the area where NASA is, there's all kinds of these highways, and one of them are named after him, after John Young.
Yeah, right on.
Yeah, yeah. So that's pretty cool information. So he is.
He has
The
been
guy.
up 7 times, but he's been launched into orbit 7 times. 6 from the Earth and 1 from the moon.
Unbelievable.
so we should make a little point about before I go somewhere else. Let's take a look at Mike's background shot.
Oh yeah.
And maybe I would like to see if anybody's noticed that every week Mike changes a little bit something in his background shot. So this week he's got his stormtrooper back there looking through the telescope.
No. Yeah.
So keep an eye out for next week to see if you can pick out what it is. We'll have to
That
set up
might
some.
be a contest. You never know.
I might have to set up some kind of a contest for it. Yes, we will. All right. So I just want to go back just for a second and take a look at Stellarium, just so people get an idea of where we're looking. Because again, I've had a lot of questions on it, and I just want to make sure that the questions have been answered. So again, here we are tomorrow morning at 3:46 St. John time, and we've got Venus and Aldebaran sitting right there. Nice little combination right there.
Mhm.
Really pretty. That would be a beautiful photograph, Mr. Paul. And look straight up, and there's the Pleiades. Look at that. Our winter constellations are coming back.
Yeehaw.
Already.
Yeah, already. So to get there, again, for the steps that you need to do to load the comets into your program, so because it doesn't come preloaded, it might not come with the updates. So I'm just going to walk real quickly through those steps. So we go to our configuration window first, and then we go over to plugins. Once we click on plugins, we look down here for Solar System Editor. Click on Solar System Editor. We make sure it's clicked Load at Startup and Configure. So Load at Startup means the next time around it will load those items. We go to Configure next. From Configure, we go down to Import and Add Solar System Minor Objects. Oh, sorry. No, you don't. You go over to Solar System first. And then we see the list of them here, and then we import orbital elements in MPC format. So we click on that, and it asks us what we want to bring in, asteroids or comets. We want to bring comets. Then from comets, we go down here to, we select a bookmark, and from a bookmark, we go to MPC's list of observable comets. And from there, we say get orbital elements. And there they are. So this is what it's gone up to the Minor Planet Sender and picked out all these objects. So down that list, we would probably see C2020 F3, which is the name of that one. So all we want to do here is go mark all, and then add the objects. So it's going to update the existing ones and update only the orbital elements that I selected. So add objects. It'll take a second or two. And once it's done that part, they are now in your database. So all we have to do from here is exit out of all these windows. And you can go back and review this later on. And then we go over here to our search button. And that particular comet is called NEOWISE, but we're not going to use the word NEOWISE, the name of it. We're just going to use C, Comet/2020, when it was discovered, F3. And when we do that, you'll see NEOWISE pop up. So then we just click search, and there it is. It centers it in our illustration. So here we are at tomorrow morning at 3:46:23, and it's sitting about 10 degrees above the horizon right there in the northeast. But the good thing about this too is that if we take our time back a little bit, and we see, we got to go around the other side, and there it is at 10:46 tonight. So it's not very high right there, but if we move our days ahead, we can see how it's going to move higher in our sky. So we're still at, say, 10:30. We'll set it for 10:30. And at 10:30, roughly, there's on the 19th, the 20th, 21st, if I bring on the constellations, right here, there's the Big Dipper, or Ursa Major, right? So we can see that it's climbing up in our sky over the top of the Big Dipper. So in that particular area, so it's going to go right across the sky like that. So it's going to be circumpolar all night. So if I move our time ahead, say on the, let's say the 17th, we go ahead, you can see that it just barely sets there. But the farther we get ahead in our days, the more it's going to stay up all night. Okay, make sense?
Does.
Clear as mud. So there's the 13th, there's tomorrow. And tomorrow again, there's at 4:30 tomorrow morning. We are looking northeast. There's Capella, that really bright star Capella. And you can take the star Alnath, and if you made a nice triangle out of those three stars, it's almost equal distance apart. You'll find Comet sitting there in the northeast, low on the horizon, and almost horizontal from Venus and Aldebaran. Okay, so that's where you find it in our morning sky, and in our evening sky, you're going to find it in the north-northwest. Again, as it rises in the north-northwest over here. Oop, too late. North-northwest. There it is sitting there. Very low to the horizon right now, but again, it's going to get higher and higher as the days move on. It's also going to get dimmer and dimmer as the days move on. Again, we were at about 1.3 magnitude. We're at about 2.5 magnitude right now. So, okay, folks. So good luck. Clear skies to everybody. Well, everybody, let's hope. We'd like a chance at it, please. All right, I'll stop sharing. And it looks like we've had a showing, I guess, guys, eh? So we're into an hour and 18 minutes now. Probably good to go. Okay, so I guess in closing tonight, we'd like to thank you all again for your continued support. Remember, we do love getting your photos. Again, you can send them to SundayNightAstronomyShow@gmail.com, and we will put them on our broadcast. We'd like to get them. Our special thanks again, of course, to Rosanna for her Fun Facts episodes, and of course, Mike and Paul, all you guys for your contributions, and everybody who submitted photos, thanks very much. And the contest entries as well. That was a great little contest to run, and I'll be happy to run another one hopefully soon. Again, please consider giving us a like if you've joined us from YouTube and subscribing to our channel. And please let your families and friends know that we are here every Sunday night at the same time to help educate you on the night sky. And I guess so for now then, from Mike, Paul, and I, we'd like to say we wish you all clear skies. And what else do we wish, guys? Ask you to keep your scopes
Point it up.
So thanks, folks. Thanks for joining us again. Have a great week.